What is up YouTube, it's Kingfisher745, and I'm sure you've all seen, or will see very soon, that there is a brand new Spec Op. So do the Spec Op drop. It's finally time for number 32. So in this video we're going to take our first look and overview of it, and then we'll get right into the task list first thing tomorrow. Now of course we know the character is going to be Red She-Hulk, and also there's a Lockbox character, Winter Soldier. But we'll look at exactly what they do a little bit later in this one. The first thing I like to do is check out what weapons we can get in the missions. So starting with mission 1, the weapon for this one is going to be the Uranium Loaded Machine Gun, and it's an AoE attack that applies depleted uranium, or has a 50% chance to. This says all attacks against this target ignore defense. Next, it has a 50% chance to place radiation exposure on all the enemies as well. Now see, this weapon wouldn't be too bad, but I don't think they needed to put that 50% chance. It would have been a lot better if it just had that debuff to begin with, and I don't see why it couldn't. It's not like that would have been overpowered. But still, moving on to mission number 2, you will find the epic boss here. It's going to be none other than the Leader. He has predicted outcome. When an enemy attempts to perform an action, Leader has a chance to cause it to fail. He also has Relentless and Strengthened Haste, taking 3 actions every round. Other than that, of course he is a tactician. Then the weapon they're showing is the Detonating Rifle. This has Detonator, detonates explosives on enemy targets. It also provides retaliation, counterattacks when an ally is attacked. So this is going to be pretty awesome with Fixer, and also with Winter Soldier from what I've heard. So this is definitely a good weapon to get. And it has very high single target damage. There should also be a set piece from the current set as well, but they don't show that right there. For mission 3 there's the Ionizing Radiator. It's an AoE debuff tech radiation type, and it applies radiation fatigue, taking extra damage from radiation attacks, plus gamma exposure. Nearby energy attacks may apply radiation exposure. This definitely reminds me of the Gamma Emitter, I believe, or the Gamma Radiation Emitter. It seems okay, and maybe that PvP suit, the Vibranium League reward, will actually see some action. That is, if this set and certain items like this become popular in PvP. Though I'm not so sure they will. Still, moving on to the taskbar, our first blueprint's going to be the Gamma-Irradiated Waste, and it's defensive based. Still though, like I said, a defensive armory may actually be the way I want to go. So this gives 23,478 defense. Depending on how you want to build your team, this may be a great upgrade for your armory bonus. Then the next blueprint's for the Little Brother. This is a quick action. Unfortunately, it starts cooled down, but it grants nuclear launch detected. Nuclear launch is imminent, but it may be stopped by eliminating the character. This sounds pretty cool, and it's definitely a shout out to StarCraft. I personally cannot wait to see the nuclear launch in action, so we'll just have to wait on that one. After that, there's the Premonition Stimulator. It's an AoE buff that's another quick action. It provides mirror images and reduce damage from radiation. Following that, the final research is going to be for the Radiation Injector. This is Contaminated Set Piece 1 of 4. It does pretty solid damage and has increasing contamination. If another piece of the set is equipped, gains irradiated, then it causes radiation fatigue ×2 on one enemy. This means they'll take extra damage from radiation attacks. But remember, that new PvP reward suit is going to be immune, plus Red She-Hulk actually likes being attacked by radiation. Speaking of her, she's going to be a generalist, and first she has Beat the Heat. Protects against single target energy and radiation attacks. Her next passive, Gamma Girl, says, gains gamma energy when attacked, and immune to radiation effects. Lastly, Gamma Energy increases attack, defense, accuracy, and evasion, plus restores some health and stamina when gained. So yeah, that's a pretty awesome buff, and you're going to see plenty of it in her abilities. So let's go ahead and check those out next. By the way though, there's also going to be a brand new lockbox, so in the collections you'll see the Wintry Lock Box. This of course is for Winter Soldier, and as always you'll need 8 different covers. The way you'll get these is through a quest, but also mainly through fighting the group boss, so you'll see him very early in the Spec Op tasks. As for Red She-Hulk, onto her abilities, and by the way I think her art in game happens to look amazing. They really did a fantastic job. Her actions, by the way, while amazing, do have one flaw, and we'll point that out. First up is going to be Body Blow, an unarmed melee attack that applies exhausted and fumbling, plus it gives her gamma energy. So that's pretty great that she has another way to gain that, and I was really excited to see that. Next, for her level 2, it's Cage Fight, another unarmed melee attack. This one applies flanked, staggered, and off balance. 3 great debuffs. Plus it also gives her gamma energy. Now at this point we can already see she has a lot of melee attacks, and that is a bit dangerous because of the elite EISO. You also have to worry about the Hugin's Eye sometimes. For her level 6 though, it's Curb Stomp, and this is a melee ground attack, but once again still melee. It is an AoE that causes Aftershock, so deals ground damage to affected character's team before the next action. It also applies Hobbled, attacks cannot be stealthy, and Winded, removes and prevents a follow-up attack. Once again, it also gives her gamma energy. So yeah, don't get me wrong, I like her abilities, I love that they all apply gamma energy, but the melee part is the only thing that scares me. Finally though, her Savage Strike is another unarmed melee attack, but this one has Exploit Opportunity, so she'll be great with a ton of different characters, from Hank Pym and Ant-Man to Wasp and one of my favorites, Anti-Venom, plus the Ex-Oblivion and so on. This attack also ignores defense and has Unleash Anger, so we figured it's going to consume that gamma energy, and it will, probably for some huge damage. After this, there's yet another character in this Spec Op, and it's fan favorite Winter Soldier. He is going to be an infiltrator, and he has counter-offensive. Counterattacks and follow-up attacks deal increased damage. Next he has Iron Curtain, grants Cold War to allies, dealing increased damage to enemies with locked out moves. Finally he has Sense of Control, immune to delirium effects. I'm just going to say this right now, he was highly anticipated for myself and many others, and I don't believe he's going to disappoint. But we'll see. For his first ability it has Aimed Shot. It causes pain and Hobbled, plus it grants him Retaliation for 2 rounds. Counterattacks when an ally is attacked. Right away that's pretty awesome. And we can tell, just by his passive in that he's going to be great with Union Jack, Rocket, Spider-Man Noir, and so on. But it gets better. Revolutionary Strike, his level 2, causes Reduced Potential and Revolution. 2 rounds. Joins in on an ally's single target attack. Just awesome. But let's see this level 6. Magnetized Mines. And yes, it's a multifunction. First up, we're going to have the Magnetized Blast Mine. An AoE subtle attack, or debuff I should say, that places on all enemies a blast explosive. It explodes when magnetized or detonated, and the triggered explosion gains Paragon Exploiter exploit attrition and ignores defense. Next, the Irradiated Frag Mine. An AoE, targets gain 1 to 2 applications of radiation exposure and bleeding when detonated. Then you can probably guess his third mine. It's going to be the Chemical Mine. Targets gain dizzy, exposed, slowed, weakened, and incapacitation when detonated. Okay, so he could work with Fixer and he'd probably be awesome. That right there shows you with a Paragon Exploiter, they could really be set up. The magnetized angle covers multiple characters, and really this character just looks incredible all around. AoE mines. That's just awesome. I'll be honest with you, I almost thought I read it wrong, like I was seeing things. His final ability is the Detonator. And you know what? He actually has a level 9, as if he needed anything else. So it's the Knife Assault. It has Brutal Strike, Guaranteed Hit, Ignore Defense, and Fatal Blow. So once again, not bad. There's definitely reasons to love a Fatal Blow, Brutal Strike move. It could definitely come in very handy. And because of all that, Winter Soldier is definitely not a disappointment. I cannot wait to get him. Please send me your group bosses. Other than that, the Big Brother is on sale, but my advice is try to build it. At least try to get as many pieces as you can, and just buy the remaining pills. What it is the fourth piece of the Contaminated set. It's a quick action. With another piece of the set, it gains a Radiated, Chaos Shot, and Reduced cooldown. Then it's going to have Nuclear Launch Detected. So yeah, it definitely looks interesting, and that's going to be it for our first look and overview of Spec Op 32. I wish you all the best of luck, and tune in for the task list starting tomorrow. That's it for now, but thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Then until next time, good luck, and take care.